What I have found within my analysis of various films, games, and TV shows is the constant underlining themes of, say, betrayal, love, coming of age, and so on, and how they place some worth in the storyline. And sometimes it's almost as if the writer, director, or creator wants us to learn a lesson. But no matter how many times these explorative lessons are presented, we know that it always goes back to a theme, a story, a belief. And this is comforting. It can span our lifetimes, these thoughts that we have, with someone else interpreting it just a little bit differently. This can be said for religion, for spirituality, for science. There's always something else to add, or something new to add. And in one such theme I have found, I wish to share with you this philosophy. This is Two Takes, and this is Second Watch, a short interpretation of Horizon Zero Dawn on Final Fantasy VII. Spoilers might be ahead. I have talked about Horizon Zero Dawn, and the concept of how humans and machines are living in this reality, and why humans are not the head of the food chain anymore. How we are actually considered irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. And you know what? This is how it should be. We shouldn't consider ourselves so important that everything else is deemed inferior, and there is a good reason for this. We are all the same, and we are all important in the grand scheme of epic proportions, especially if we expand our horizons onto a global scale. And both Horizon Zero Dawn and Final Fantasy VII made a good example of this type of philosophy. Gaia is the name of the AI that helps planet recover from the Pharaoh Plague in Horizon Zero Dawn reality. It adopted empathy and a certain protectiveness around her mission of terraforming the Earth, and considering the world we were introduced to, it holds a lot to be reckoned with. It is wild, vast, beautiful, resourceful, and unforgiving, just like nature should be. Gaia, in this game, is the protective AI and mother to her sub-functions that terraform the Earth we see in the game. In Greek mythology, Gaia is considered the mother of all, the goddess of the Earth. In our world, Gaia is a principle and an introspective belief that proposes that every organism is a part of a self-regulating system, and they interact with each other to maintain the conditions we see as life on Earth. And in Final Fantasy VII, Gaia is the life force within the planet, and everything that dies goes back into it. Do you see a theme? It was put there to explore something in many different ways, but the principle was still the same. This spans further than we could ever realize, as many systems of thought within religion or belief, or even mythology, have considered this as a natural part of life. Every story has an aspect of truth, whether it be for a lesson, a warning, or something much more. This concept of the Earth being a living, breathing thing is not a new idea, and it being repeated in so many ways must be for a reason, don't you think? The world soul, or anima mundi, in Latin, is the connection between all living things, and like the soul is connected to the human body, it relates to the world as a life force, interacting with each other like neurons in the human brain. It is all one essence, just doing many, many things at the same time, interlacing and interconnecting, working together. This could be said for Gaia and her sub-functions in Horizon Zero Dawn, but on a more physical and robotic scale. And for Final Fantasy VII, it has the same concept, but more within the spiritual realm, especially in the final moments of the game. Final Fantasy VII also embraces the concept of Shinto, the Japanese religion revolving around kami, the supernatural beings or Shinto gods, that inhabit all things considered important to life, such as wind, rain, mountains, trees, and rivers. There isn't really any fear of death either, because when humans die, they become kami and become one with the world, much like the life force explored and explained in the film and game of Final Fantasy VII. And like Aerith, being the last of the Citra, an ancient race that can sense the planet's life force, this also explores a Taoist world view of chi, meaning breath or air, but figuratively meaning the life force. Chi is the flow of vibrations, that happens continuously on a molecular, atomic, and subatomic levels, and many can access this given time, patience, and various practices. What can be noted as a similar theme, as well as the idea of something other out there, a life force, an all-mother, an encompassing organism, whatever you want to call it, the running theme is what we do with it. And it seems there's always an internal struggle from one human to another. One wants to corrupt, destroy, control, and the other has to save it. Humans, in these games, are always either intentionally or unintentionally beginning the Earth's destruction, and our player has to set it straight. And this can be linked to our reality, with global warming being the main example. It seems concepts like these go round in a circle. Would you say they're trying to tell us something? If you enjoyed what was said, please follow me on Anchor, Spotify, and other podcasting platforms to never miss an episode. Be kept in the loop for new content on my Instagram and Twitter page. For more of a visual appeal, I've introduced a YouTube channel. And if you enjoy to read what was said, instead, follow my blog, linked elsewhere. I'm a podcaster that enjoys this process, and it wouldn't have been made a reality without you, the listener. And so, I thank you for listening, and I hope you stick around for more.